Hello, I'm Brian Grills, and today I want to talk about The Full Monty, a film that came out way back in 1997. Um, so if you haven't seen it by now, there may be some spoilers. Anyway, let's get this cup of coffee on the go, um, and see what's happening. So I've got a bottle of Volvic, actual proper Volvic. I know it's a single-use bottle and it's not great for the environment, but this will be recycled responsibly. It will be. So anyway, let's get on with making this coffee. Make sure I've got my Warrior Princess lighter. I have. Uh, so anyway, The Full Monty. Robert Carlyle, massive win. Massive win. Robert Carlyle. Love Robert Carlyle. I've never seen him make a bad film yet. If you've heard of Plunkett and McLean, go and watch Plunkett and McLean as well. That's a really good book. I'll do it. Let's chuck it over there. I just didn't want this horrible wind blowing the bottle away and then we have to chase it. Anyway, never mind about that. Plunkett and McLean now. We'll talk about that another time. The Full Monty. Mark Addy, Tom Wilkinson, Steve Hewson, Paul Barber, and Hugo Spear are in it as well. The Full Monty is a really, really good film. It really is. It really is. It's set. So you got these guys that it's in Sheffield, which is in northern England, which has seen a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? It's seen a lot of disruption over the years with unemployment, and they've had some hard times because of whichever London-centric government is in at the time always seems to sort of dump on the north. So that's a sort of it's a social commentary running through it as well. So you've got Gaz, who's the main man, played by Robert Carlyle. We love Robert Carlyle. Robert Carlyle is one of our favourites, and he's split up from his wife. He's always divorcing his ex-wife, but he's desperately trying to keep custody of his son, Nathan. He's desperately doing all he can, but he owes the child support agency all of these back payments, arrears. So he's unemployed. He's down in his luck. He's on the dole. Along with these job clubbed friends of his. Gerald, played by Tom Wilkinson, is a former foreman of theirs who's been made redundant as well, but he's not told his wife that he's been made redundant, and he's hoping against hope that he can get another job quickly before his savings run out and he hasn't got to admit the shame to his wife. So I'm just trying to remember the other fellas, but I can't see the notes because the sun's shining on it. So that's a thing that's happening. So anyway, so Gaz decides they have in the town they're living in Sheffield, they have the Chippendales, the strip group, the male strippers, and they're all buff and muscular and they're all baby oil and all that sort of thing. And all the women are really impressed with it. And, Gaz decides that doing their own version of the Chippendales would be good. But they would, of course, go to Full Monty. They wouldn't just keep their little tiny swimming trunks on, their Speedos. They would go to Full Monty. And he's trying to recruit his friends into being this sort of strip ensemble, like the Chippendales, but the northern the Sheffield version, and it is a good film. It follows Gaz and his desperate struggle to stay connected to his son, who's slowly but surely slipping away, and his ex-wife is sort of, she's shooting for sole custody of the boy, which of course is breaking Gaz's heart because, he wants to see his son just because he's been made redundant. There's no shame there. People have been made redundant enough times. I've been made redundant. There's no shame in it. But of course, when you're on the chat afterwards, or on the dole, sorry, when you're on the dole, anyway, so it follows the underlying theme is, these guys, they feel embarrassed, they feel ashamed, they're not providing, they're not making money. So their own egos are punishing them as well. Dave, that's Gaz's best friend there, Dave, played by Mark Addy, and he's trying to rope him in, but Dave has got his own issues going on. He's very body conscious, is Dave. He's a bigger guy. He's not a fat fella. He's not fat at all. He's just got his own. You know how we've all got our own this and that we don't like. Water's boiling. Let's get this. That's boiled quite quickly, actually, in fairness. But Dave has got his body issues. Mrs. Grills and I, we went to the cinema to watch the full Monty when it came out. And, Mrs. Grills, when she saw Dave sort of get his shirt off, she went, "Well, he's all right. What's the matter?" But but of course, it's Dave's own inner sort of turmoil. So he's got that. Gerald, played by Tom Wilkinson, he's got his own problems. He's got to try and get a job to get money to replenish his savings before his wife finds out. She eventually does. Then the rug gets pulled from under Gerald, and it all sort of, his world then goes upside down. Dave's wife discovers this sort of leather thong that he's been sort of practicing in to do this full Monty gig. She thinks he's having an affair. She's ready to chuck him out. So his world is now in turmoil. Then you've got like a subplot where the character's name is Lomper, and the other guy's name is, I don't know, I can't remember. And they decide that they spend a lot of time together and end up falling in love, and so they start their own thing. That's a little sort of subplot, Lomper is played by Steve Hewson, and the other fella, whose name totally escapes me because, as usual, I'm the height of I'm the very model of preparedness. Because why would you go through a time of trouble to talk about a film when you've got no clue what you're talking about? But that's how I live my life. I just chat on. So anyway, so the fella, the character played by Hugo Spirit, of course, he's got the chest and the abs, and he's got the pecs, and he's got the body, and all the rest of it. So he's not really got too much to worry about, apart from needing money, of course, like everyone else. But it is a good film. It is a social commentary, as well as, because it talks about the issues of the day and stuff like that. Well, not the issues of the day, but how these guys have ended up in this position of being unemployed, and they feel like they're being phased out. That they're useless, they're unnecessary. The women could do very well without them, thank you very much. Of course, we know that's not the case. Men and women both need each other. We need each other for balance. That's what we need, you see. We need balance in our lives. So in the end, yes, it's 28 years old now, so, there will be, you should have seen it by now because it's that good. Robert Carlyle's in it. What are you talking about? You've not seen a film? Robert Carlyle, he's that good. So in the end, they do the full Monty, they do the whole strip thing. Dave isn't going to appear. And then, because of his own self-confidence and his body issues, and he feels like he's a great big fat Jabba the Hutt and whatever. But his wife says, "Well, I want to watch." So then Dave's wife goes, And she's in the crowd, she's in the audience, and so they do the dance, they do their routine, and it finishes with they're dressed as security guards, and they've got the hat, the peep cats, and everything, and it finishes. The very final shot that you'll see in the film is a back shot, so you can see all these asses, all these men's asses, and they're all throwing their security caps into the crowd, and there's a light there, so you can't really see. You don't see any inky winkies or anything like that, so it's a pretty safe film, really. You could watch it with your gran in the room if you was that way inclined. You could watch it with your gran, and it wouldn't be too, because all you see is just sort of five asses at the end. Five backsides, five bottoms, five male bottoms. But it is a really good film. It's a good story. It's a good film. It's done in a sympathetic way. It's not sort of self-indulgent in any way. But it doesn't sort of go on about it, but it does highlight the guys' insecurities and how they're feeling and all this. They're feeling useless, unloved, unwanted, unneeded, unnecessary. They're at rock bottom, these guys. But the film doesn't sort of pick on that. It brings it into the story in a very good way. So, so it's a good film. The Full Monty, Robert Carlyle, Mark Addy, Tom Wilkinson, Steve Hewson, Hugo Spear, and Paul Barber. Paul he's another one of those underrated British actors that's been around, and you've seen Paul Barber in so many things, and you don't realise how much he's been here. That's him. And I do that all the time. I spend more time on Google. Oh, he was in what was he in? So I have to get my phone and I have to quickly Google what this person was in, what character he or she played. Oh, it is, So anyway, yeah, The Full Monty. Stream it, buy it on DVD. Do what you want to do with it. It's up to you. I don't care. I'm Bright Grills. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one.